everybody. Are you all able to hear us well? My name's Dom Sinek from Pukunui, and today I'll be introducing Cathie Bond from the Central Gippsland Health Service. She's been the Education Support Officer there for 7 years, in charge of e-learning and Moodle, and been working with Moodle over the past 4 years. We've had a pretty good relationship as being one of our clients. And today she's going to be talking about her wonderful way of doing enrolments. So just adjust your volumes if everyone's too loud or too soft. And Cathie, are you ready to go?
All set and ready, Dom. So we'll make it start off.
Thought you did a runner on us.
I'm a bit nervous. This is the first time I've presented on Moodle anywhere, and first time I've ever done online conferencing as well, so be kind to me. Moodle is very close to my heart. I spend probably 90% of my day working on Moodle, in amongst many other things that I do. Central Gippsland Health Service is on the Victorian east coast of Australia. We're about 3 hours from Melbourne, so we're regarded as a regional health service. We're fairly large though, in that we have 3 campuses and we have over 1,000 staff. We have a lot of different requirements with that because we've got clinical and non-clinical staff, and being a health industry we have to meet mandatory competencies to maintain accreditation for health services. So there's a lot of competing difficulties that we have, and it's always interesting trying to make Moodle stretch to what we want it to do. I think I've got a bit of a reputation for making it do things it's not supposed to do, but we get a bit creative and it all works. As we go through today, if you have questions, then just pop them in the chat and I'll try and keep up with that as well. Just anytime you've got anything that you want to query, or if you've got suggestions to make it better, I'm always open to that. So we'll just keep working our way through, but let me know if you want to ask me anything. Now my slide doesn't want to move. Here we go. On our Moodle, we run a graduate nurse program, and we've done that for about 4 years. That was how we launched into Moodle. We dumped our paper-based system into Moodle and found that that wasn't very successful, but we learned a lot. We now also run a transition nurse program, postgraduate supported programs. We have our learning packages for all our nursing staff to continue their learning in various areas. We run our competencies, which is a huge part of our Moodle. We also use it for communication pathways, which is something that we've only just started doing. And by communication pathways, we have areas set up for each unit. So we'll have a critical care unit, an emergency unit, a medical unit, and we have forums set up in those, and all the staff of those areas are enrolled into that forum, into that course, and they can upload documents or have a chat or do anything they like. It's a good way for the managers to get information to all staff really quickly and easily, whether they're rostered on or not. We also use Moodle to link to a lot of other education from other providers. So state government and things like that provide code of conduct and conflict of interest training, open disclosure training. So we utilise that through links as well. We haven't used the LTIs yet, but we might do that in the future. Most of our courses look like this. We have a book, a quiz, a feedback and a certificate. It looks fairly simple, but the workings behind it aren't as simple. They're all hidden away so that our users don't get confused by a massive information on their screens. We have users who have never turned a computer on, through to very computer literate users right through the organisation. We have different requirements for different competencies. We have some of them need face-to-face competencies as well as theoretical components. So we have used Moodle to record the practical sessions via the offline activities. In Moodle itself, behind the book, we might use SCORM with Storyline Articulate, and we use the book module itself heavily. And we actually like that the best, probably. Each course or competency also has a forum so that people can always get information to us and us to them. And we find the forums invaluable in what we do. So all of our courses look like this. A book, a quiz, feedback, and a certificate. So within the book, we might have various links. The quiz can sometimes be a proper quiz, or it might just be a declaration of learning. I might just move to the next slide, just to make sure that we all understand what I mean by rolling enrolment, because not everybody has the same understanding. We have the same users who need to complete the same competency or course every year. Sometimes it's 2 years or 3 years, but every year. We can't lose the previous results. We can't lose the previous learning. If something happens and they say that they weren't trained in something, we need to be able to go back and look at what the learning that they were provided and the results that they got in that. But I don't want to spend hours and hours enrolling everyone into a new course every year. 1,000 staff into 20-odd courses every year would just drive me insane. So although it's the same course, the learning might get updated and the quiz might get updated, which that also provided some interesting problems for us as we were trying to make this work. So this is what it looks like behind the scenes. So each course year, or 2 or 3 years, is a separate topic. The pictures up the top with the book, the quiz, the feedback and the certificate, they are just pictures in a table, and I've linked activities to the pictures and then orphaned off the activities. We use conditional activities and restricted access as well to make all this work. So within a book, there'll be the actual learning provided. But you can't access the quiz until you've read the book. And for the feedback, the same. You can't access the feedback and tell us what you thought of it unless you've read the book and done the quiz. The certificate is dependent upon the feedback being submitted as well. What's next? Bear with me. So each year we do it, we add a new topic, not a new course. And then all we have to do is update the links. So we add a topic when we have updated learning or updated quizzes throughout 1 year. We add it each year that the competency has to be updated for new reporting timelines. It looks the same to our users, so they're not getting confused. The previous course information's not lost, and the previous results are not lost either. And we don't lose the feedback, so we can always go and look at and see how we developed the course and what changes we made as we went along. The other part that we do, you don't have to do this, but this was actually Julian's idea, and it's made life a lot easier for me. It's not necessary, but we've created cohorts to enrol all our users. So as the number of competencies increase, I can enrol users into new courses or new competencies really easily. I've just got to enrol the cohort. The old topics, I leave the old topics there. They're just orphaned off. The users can't see them, but any of the educators can see it. They can go back and look at grade results. They can go back and look at feedback, but it's not actually visible to any of our users. So we've always got that information on hand. Cohorts can be a bit messy. We enrol all our users into a cohort so that they're in, say, an emergency department cohort or a critical care cohort, and then we use the cohort sync to enable that into our courses. So to do that, you'd go to the course admin screen and then go to enrolment methods. And under that enrolment methods, you have to enable the cohort sync. And that's under here. So the cohort sync, you've got your cohorts already set up under the main admin screen. And then you enable the cohort into here, and that will then show as automatically enrolled. So when I enroll new staff into an emergency department cohort, they're automatically enrolled into every course that course has been synced with. There are some dangers to doing that. I'll just go back to here. So the learning in our courses might change and the quizzes might change, but the feedback questions don't change. And as a health service, we have to evaluate everything that we do and prove that evaluation. So feedback submitted for us means that the course is completed, and that's where we get our reporting from. Dom and the team at Pukunui created some great custom reports for us that are all based on the feedback submitted part of Moodle. Like everything that we do, there's good and there's bad. With cohorts, you need to ensure that the cohorts are correct, and that can be tricky. If you're moving someone from one cohort to another, so we have that situation where they're moving from emergency department to, say, district nursing, you have to add them to another one before you take them out, because otherwise you can potentially lose all their completion data. We also don't ever delete accounts off our Moodle. Being in the health industry in a regional area, people come and go. They seem to do roundabouts and end up back here at some point. So if they've been away for 6 months, we don't want them to have to redo 20-odd competencies. So we just suspend their account, and then when they come back, we can reopen it and they've got all their data back. Now, I've said that to make this work, it relies on the feedback submitted because of our reporting. And this is probably where this part falls down the most. This has taken lots and lots of time and reinforcement with our staff, and it's a constant battle. I get many phone calls saying, I've done my courses, but they're not showing up as complete on my reports, and it's invariably that they haven't filled in the feedback. Then they think they've got to go and do the whole course again, but they don't. They just need to do the feedback. So it's a simple way to do rolling enrolment. And it makes administration of it quite a lot less data entry bound. I can create new courses and enroll cohorts very quickly and easily. And that's probably all I need to tell you about this. There isn't a lot to discuss in that sort of subject. It's very task-based and focused, but it's really solved some problems for us. Stuart, you put the courses, you put feedback before the quiz. Okay, well, we want to know what they say about the quiz as well, because we pick up some of the errors and changes in best practice because people have been doing research. So then they've evaluated the quiz as well. But that's something to think about. Might make them do the feedback before they do the quiz. Might make it a bit easier. Has anybody else been doing this sort of thing? You can change the quiz. You just have to update the link. Update the links to that top screen. I'll go back to where our course structure is. We just update the link. So all the activities are still here. I might have to create a new quiz and then update the link back to this picture up here. And then you can change whatever you like whenever you like. If you don't delete the quiz, you've still got the data. Oh, we might have to change the questions if best practice changes. Like a couple of years ago, basic life support changed from 15 to 2 to 30 to 2, and we had to change all of our teaching. So we needed to update our quizzes. So we just create the new quiz, and then we can see by going back to the grade books who's completed which quizzes and what learning they've been given at the time. Oh, thank you. I think it's pretty cool too. It's a good way around it. Yeah, 10 years of courses and users. I'm guessing that what I'm going to have to do in a couple of years is that I'm going to have to archive and back up and get it off our Moodle site. Develop some reports. We can go cross-course, cross-site. Yes, we need to develop our reporting a whole lot more. And I've got to spend some time with Dom to do that because we need some help in that area. You could duplicate the course each year, and we looked at doing that, but that's going to take up a lot of room, and then to find out who's done what courses, and then you're re-enrolling cohorts and trying to update cohorts across multiple courses and what's the current one. And when I've got probably half a dozen educators that are going in and out of this thing, I want to make it simple so that they can't get it wrong. I don't want them going in and updating a course that was used last year. I want them to update the current one, so they always know to look at the bottom topic. So if this topic's closed off, they'll know to go to the next topic underneath. We only have about 4 or 5 competencies that have to be updated every year. Most of them are either 2 yearly or 3 yearly. So I just make the dates. I don't know if you can see that. It says 2013 to 15 there for this course on cultural competency. So every 3 years I'll just duplicate that book and update the learning and the quiz into a new topic and update the links, and that'll work really well for us. Yeah, that's right, John. One course does allow you to see the history from year to year. You can go and see who's done what and when they did it too. Yeah, Stuart, an archive is a good idea. We're going to face that fairly shortly. I think we've got a fair amount on our Moodle now, and more people are using it. We've got about 1,200 people registered on our site, and probably 80% of them now have completed all their competencies, which is huge for us, considering that just before accreditation last year we had probably a 30% completion rate, but now people are just doing it constantly, and we're providing online face-to-face education for Moodle users in the organisation every month now, so they can come up to our computer lab and I'll show them how to use Moodle and how to get their reports and how to see what they've done and what they need to keep working on. It's an ever-growing thing. We're just dabbling in MOOCs and all sorts of things at the hospital, so we hope to have some of that released shortly as well. Has anybody else come up with another solution to rolling enrolment, or are you doing different things to do this? I'd be really interested to know what other people are doing. I sit here all alone in regional Victoria trying to make this thing work for us. I get accused of stretching Moodle quite a bit and asking curly questions, but we get it to do what we want it to do. Everyone's going quiet. If you've got questions, then put them into the chat and I'll answer them. I'll just take you to our end screen. I have put a feedback module on to the course page for this session as well, and I'd really appreciate any feedback that you've got or any suggestions in there. My email, phone number, and my Twitter handle are there. Probably an email is the best way to get me, though. I'm not often on Twitter. I usually only hang around on that when Moodle Meet's on. Too many users. Oh, more than 5,000. Goodness, that would be not much fun. And is that because of Moodle or because of the way things are set up for you? Or 20,000 users in a course, my goodness. We have used groups in some of the postgraduate courses so that we have one set up. Thing I found was that the educators were the ones getting confused. They were confused about who was in what group and how they contacted just that group, and they were sending messages and putting information up on forums to the wrong groups and getting very mixed up. So we've stayed away from that at this point. We may very well go to groups to differentiate some of the sites, to maybe develop the reporting a bit more, but we haven't dabbled in it a whole lot yet. Stuart, in what way for groups and groupings? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, we don't want to. We want to hide all the activities so that they're not accessing them. The reason is that we've got people here who've never turned a computer on, and I mean literally never turned a computer on. That can, some of them speak and read no English. So we just want them to click on the pictures and do what they need to do. We have to sit with some people to talk them through each competency, and others fly through it, of course. But if we tried to make it really simple and really consistent so that the users who aren't computer literate, we've got nurses here who've been here for 40 odd years and they're not used to computers. So if they know that they just follow the process, they click on the book, click on the picture, they just work their way through. Yeah, it does work for us, and I think it's pretty cool. There's probably better ways or different ways and ways that would suit other people better. But this works for us in health with what we're doing. It got us the reporting that we needed through for accreditation to show that people were doing it and what the education was, and the accreditors could see it quite easily. It's very transparent as to who'd done what and when. So we just keep developing it as we go. Have we got any other questions or comments? It's all gone very quiet. Wrong. How do I manage who's done the courses? Okay. That's all done, Dom, with that very lovely reporting you set up for us. That is based on the feedback module. We have all our areas in cost centres, and that's all generated via custom profile fields that we've set up for each cost centre. And then we run the reports for the cost centre, which are then those reports are all based on the feedback being submitted. That's how we track who's done what. We do have to get some better organisational reports done. And one problem we do have is that when I've got, say, basic life support as a competency, there's a practical and a theoretical component to that. So I've got two feedback modules on the one course, but with our current reporting, it only recognises one of those feedback modules as being completion. So it shows that they're complete when they may have only completed one of the modules. So that's something we've got to develop, but we can go in and check via the gradebook manually at the moment to see who's actually done what. We have to reinforce with our staff constantly that they have to do these competencies. For some staff who get higher pay for different things, it's a condition that those competencies are done or they lose their allowances, and they check those reports quite regularly. So there's some of those carrots there. Managers are getting really onto their staff now because the reporting goes back to management level. Each manager of each area spends a lot of time with the staff trying to get them to do these competencies. So our computers are being used more and more in our computer lab and our library, and more it's being to complete Moodle competencies and the other courses that we're providing on there. Doesn't look like we've got any other questions or comments. Does anyone think that they'll be able to use this sort of thing for their Moodles? You think it will be useful for you? Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for coming.